Hello, welcome to All of the Above, where we talk about spirituality, healing modalities, energy, intuitive development, the mystical, and any and everything related to spiritual awakening. My name is Meredith, and I'm so excited that you're here and to jump into today's episode. Hi, welcome back to All of the Above. I am so happy as always to be joining you. And today I'm sharing a little bit in a more personal sense, and I haven't done that for a while. So, really happy to be here recording and talking about this. And I want to go right into it. I want to talk about Mary Magdalene and the divine feminine and my connection personally, how she has been showing up for me in a lot of ways, spiritually and just in my life, and something exciting that I'm doing and have felt called to do that is coming up for me in 2 weeks. I will be in the south of France doing a pilgrimage to sacred sites connected to Mary Magdalene and going into this journey with a group of women, traveling around the south of France to connect to whatever may arise. I'm really excited. It all kind of fell into place pretty quickly. I booked it just a month out from the departure, and have felt really called to this for quite a while. As soon as I read Mary Magdalene Revealed by Megan Watterson, where she talks about her pilgrimage and journey experience, it was this instant feeling of, I need to do this as well. Maybe you also have that calling or can relate to that feeling with different places, but I didn't think I would do it this year. Actually, I thought it might be a couple of years from now. And then I just was really feeling the call, and everything really just happened quickly and fell into place. And going to be in Provence, in this land where it is said that she spent a lot of time, most of her final days of her life after Jesus's passing and the resurrection. So it's a very sacred place, and France is really a place that I'm so connected to. So I just feel like this homecoming kind of sense, and going on this solo journey, where yes, I'll be with other beautiful souls who I'm sure are deeply connected and kindred spirits, but going there alone, doing it alone. So I'm feeling so many beautiful feelings and validations coming up. And I've been in this portal, I'd say, of preparation energetically and mentally, reading all of these books. I've been really doing that the past year and a half, but fully just immersing myself in all things Mary Magdalene and the priestess path of the rose, and just feeling so connected to this and just wanting to share, my story with this. I have found that I've been connecting with so many women lately in the last year or so that also feel this sense of connection to Mary Magdalene's story, this sense of her story being our own story, in so many different ways and in a modern sense, obviously. But I feel that so profoundly just looking back on parts of my life. I just see, wow, this is such a parallel, and teaching me this lesson that's part of her teachings. So many things. And it all kind of clicks. And yeah, and I've just been connecting with such beautiful souls who feel this way as well. Spoke about this on my episode with Jessica, Diana, but she brought through Mary Magdalene and Mother Mary in a session that she did the first time that we connected, which was just profound. And throughout a lot of readings that I've been doing of whether it's mediumship, psychic, Akashic records, she is just always there. She is really always there. And these are people who I've never met. We've never connected before. And someone I did a channeling session with a couple weeks ago, she was like, I felt called to put this photo of Mary out at my altar with roses behind me, and showed me after. And so many things like that. I did a mediumship reading with someone, and I start describing this woman, beautiful, thinking it's maybe someone connected to her. And she stops me. It's like, do you want to know who I think you have? And she said, it's Mary Magdalene. And she was embarking on the teachings, the path as well. And it was just like heart-stopping type of moment. Another story connected with this woman repeatedly. We kept being paired together to do practice exercises. And the reason why, I'm sure, it finally comes up that we are both feeling really connected to Mary Magdalene and her teachings. And she was actually starting a circle of women to connect and a place to study the teachings and be ourselves and ask for support and guidance. So she had her first circle last week. Another story, a few weeks ago, a friend messaged me, her stepmom was doing a channeling of Mother Mary and Mary Magdalene. So I got to experience that in person, which was incredibly beautiful. And it just felt like when she invited me to that, it was just like, oh, okay, yet another validation, another experience of Mary presenting herself. And yeah, well, we can call this all serendipity or coincidence. Is anything random? I don't think so. Yeah, and so many other stories like that too, but had to mention that one. Couldn't forget that. It was really an incredibly powerful and beautiful experience just to feel the energy. Yeah, and then for me personally, like every time my Akashic records are open, basically, her presence comes through. Another channeling session, she came through. And then after, I felt really called to sit and channel myself. And I felt like I was really channeling the energy of Mary Magdalene. So yeah, if you were here with me on that journey of her just presenting herself, I just feel this is happening for so many of us. And it really does feel like this divine feminine kind of rising energy. And like we're all remembering, we're all realizing how much of a part of us this is. And the teachings, I think it's so important that these teachings are coming through. So yeah, I think for me, about a year and a half ago was when Mary Magdalene's essence really felt like it was presenting to me very strongly. And I started just gathering books and reading about her and watching movies and diving in a little bit. And I think this is connected to a deep aspect of my spiritual awakening journey that really came online around that time. And that is connected to Mary's essence and her teachings and her own story. So I think that's why this has all circled in at this time for me. And as I've gone deeper, it just feels so present and like what the world is waking up to and needing to remember, and that all of us as women are reclaiming and stepping into. So yeah, so books and reading have been a big part of this for me as I dive in and learn more about her in this way. I have this whole stack next to me, so I'm just going to read off the ones that have been really impactful for me. Mary Magdalene Revealed, the Magdalene Manuscript, the Gospel of Mary Magdalene, Anna, Grandmother of Jesus, I Remember Union, the story of Mary Magdalena, the woman with the alabaster jar. And then I really find anything channeled connecting to Mary Magdalene to be so beautiful. There is Mary Magdalene Speaks, The Heart of Love, Yeshua and Mary Magdalene, The Journey to Love. The Magdalene Manuscript, the beginning is channeled, and I read that repeatedly. But yes, there's so many resources out there. And I want to talk a little bit about why I feel called to study this, or why I feel called to the pilgrimage. So reading Mary Magdalene Revealed by Megan Watterson, she goes into her journey to the south of France and personal aspects there and describes each sacred site that she visited. So it's like the caves of St. Baume, where Mary Magdalene is said to have meditated and spent years there. So I'm really excited to be going and feeling that energy and to be doing it with a group where we can be there together and just immerse ourselves in in the energy and activations, and the sacred churches there, the Black Madonna. There are just so many different places that I cannot wait to feel that energy and presence and to see what arises for me and what I remember and learn and feel and awaken to. So I'm definitely going to be sharing. This is sort of like a series, a little bit of my journey in France, maybe my time leading up to it a little bit more, and what else appears. Um, but but yeah, I feel like I'm answering this call to go and to experience and to remember, really to remember this path of the Magdalene teachings and what I have come to feel and understand to be the teachings. I was writing some of this down earlier because there's so much. And when I try to explain it to others, it's a little challenging because there is so much and it's just such a way of being, from my understanding. And I'm really excited to learn more while I'm in France and on this pilgrimage. But what I think the Magdalene teachings are, what I think Mary Magdalene is embodying and expressing to us in this time is all about love. It's all about the heart and divine love and always choosing love over fear and this path of devotion. And what does devotion mean? I feel like I've had to sit with this for a while, but being devoted to our heart and our love and where love is calling us to go, where our heart is pulling us to what we feel, who we love, how we love, and letting love be everything that we are. And the more I kind of connect to this, the more I realize in my life that like everything I'm doing is connected to this thread, whether that is through meditations. Like for me, that's all about going back to the heart and peace and love. Or if I'm creating music, that again is all about connecting us to the frequency of love. But it's about loving so fully and letting love be who you are and what you are. And if we are connected to love, is there anything more beautiful to be feeling love, to be feeling that presence, that energy, that devotion to this feeling of like, I love you beyond all time and space, bringing that to yourself, your heart, to your beloved, to all of those around you, and just seeing everyone in this lens of love. I really think that's what it's all about, this divine love. And if you don't know, and what I believe and what the books talk about, and my teachers, that Mary Magdalene and Yeshua, Jesus, they were beloveds, they were married, they were twin flames, and how they had to go through this journey of obviously something so scary, heartbreak, separation, but then coming back and realizing they're always together, they're always one, they have always been one. Yeah, and that is so true of love and the divine, our connection to source and the light, that we are that love, we are the divine, we are that light, we are source, we are all one. And just coming back to that, we are love. So that is one aspect, love and devotion, that just, I think, embodies the Magdalene essence. And then another that I find to be really powerful is living authentically, living in our truth, owning our story, our truth, expressing that, sharing that without shame, without regret, without guilt, and just being exactly who we are and sharing our story, the highs, the lows. Like, we're not trying to look perfect here. We are expressing where we've been, we're owning it, and where we're going, but also about being so in this present moment and the stillness with that, the presence, finding the love, finding our center, our heart in each and every moment, and always just speaking our truth. As women, I feel we've all had to sort of hide that a bit, just like the church has hid Mary Magdalene's story in power for so long, calling her the prostitute, shaming her, cutting her out of all of the texts, the Nag Hammadi scriptures, which were found honestly not that long ago, but that do reveal her gospel, the Gospel of Mary. And there are pages missing. It's really fascinating to dive into that. But yeah, the Gospel of Mary was like entirely written out until recently, and it's still not really talked about. So yeah, I kind of went on a tangent with that. But yes, living and freely speaking our truth, owning our power, not silencing ourselves. I feel like as women, just in general, having to silence ourselves, whether that's for protection, whether that is for being told, to be not seen or heard, to be small, all of that, not being worthy, not being good enough, but knowing that we are and always have been worthy and good enough, and we don't need to hold shame about anything, about our stories. It's all leading us to our highest truth and lessons we're meant to learn here. So there's so much there, and I feel like these are some of the biggest lessons that I have been moving through, is not feeling regret or guilt or shame. And there's a beautiful line here I want to read from the Magdalene manuscript, if I can find it. Okay, so this little passage, I feel like this sums all of this up. The path into the new earth is simple. No guilt, no shame, no regrets. So be it. Mary Magdalene. And that's from the Magdalene manuscript by Tom Kenyon and Judy Sion. Highly recommend. But yeah, for all of us, how do we release guilt, shame, regret? How do we just be present and loving who we are, loving our story, living authentically, and just knowing our innate worthiness, knowing that we are always enough, we always have been, really embodying that as we move forward. We are so divine, we are so worthy, we are always enough exactly as we are. So that is part of the story that I think is always a work in progress for me personally, but to remember that and to just come back to love and the essence of who we are. And then something else, not feeling shame around the body and sexuality. I think that's something that the church really tried to push down and hide and keep us out of the power of that. And there's a lot with that one. But yeah, again, coming back to not having shame around our bodies and sexuality. So there is that. Something else, I think also embracing our humanness, embracing that we're here in this physical form. And yes, well, we are connecting to, a lot of us here are on that very spiritual path where we are connecting to other kind of dimensions, realms, but also just owning this human experience, embracing that, loving that. And then trust. I think that trust is also a really big piece of this, to trust our intuition, our knowing, our divinity, our love, our hearts, our feelings, to trust all of it, to trust and speak our truth and to not be afraid of that. Mary Magdalene, it said that she was a high priestess in the mystery teachings and schools and very connected to the divine realms and helped Jesus with his teachings as well, where they were helping each other all along. In this divine merging of the feminine and masculine, not in a gender sense, but within all of us, the energies of the masculine and feminine. So trusting our power with that, trusting that we can connect to that, trusting that we can share that, trusting that we know. And with that, I think it just all comes back to love, knowing our innate worthiness and embodying that and just living through this way of love, which maybe it's the same in all teachings, right? Like, isn't that what it's all about? But for me personally, the way that Mary's story has been portrayed, that I've been able to connect to it through different teachings and books and just meditation experiences, I feel such a thread and connection to pieces in my life played out in a modern sense. And I just feel so called to to continue and to keep learning and to experience this and what is to come on this pilgrimage, to really just go so deep into this energy and essence and to see what presents itself. But again, I think my lifelong lesson has been how do I return to love, choosing love over fear, and releasing all that holds us back. And yeah, I just feel she's coming to so many of us right now to help us remember, to help us wake up, remember our truth, our knowing, our power, our light, our love, and to remind us to live from that love in the heart and to trust ourselves, trust our intuition, our knowing, and to let this be just who we are and be part of our life and everything that we do. And remembering the story, I feel like this story of Mary Magdalene is in some way all of our story in its own ways and bits and pieces, however that might look to you. But I think there's something for all of us there to connect to, relate to. And I think if we can just come back to love, really, I think that's all that it is. So, oh, yeah, remembering to come back to love and to trust when she is coming to you, to trust what you're receiving, to trust yourself and your journey. And again, just being so devoted to yourself, your sacred heart, to love in whatever way that looks like for you. And remembering how worthy you are, how whole and complete you are, that you have always been enough, you are more than enough in each and every moment with everything that you do. And just living authentically, living your truth, expressing your truth. And yeah, I think she's really here for all of us to help us. There is so much more that I feel like I could say, but I'm going to leave it here for now and stay tuned for more. I'm really excited to share about my experiences on my trip, my pilgrimage, retreat, and I will update you guys. And yeah, if you are also connected to the energy of Mary Magdalene, I would love to hear your connection. And before we go, I would just like to say thank you to the energy of Mary Magdalene, Mother Mary, Yeshua, for coming through to humanity so strongly right now. I feel it so deeply every day, really. So yeah. Thank you, thank you, thank you. As always, thank you for being here and joining me and sharing your love and light. And I am so excited to share more with you guys soon. I love you. Have a beautiful day. And may we just remember to walk in the essence of love and knowing our innate worthiness, knowing there's nothing to regret or feel guilty about or to be ashamed of, to just love authentically, live through love, walk in love. Let love be everything that we do, who we are, remembering that it is our essence. Okay, thank you. I love you. Have a beautiful day. Bye. Thank you so much for joining me on today's episode of All the Above. I hope you found some wisdom, insights, remembrances within yourself, and I hope you remember how beautiful and divine you are and that you have so much to offer and bring to this world, and your gifts are so needed. You're so needed exactly as you are. And with that, if I haven't said it yet, I want to send you so much love and light. And thank you so, so much for being here. I hope you have the most magical day, and I will see you soon. Bye.